Well, welcome everybody to the podcast. So this podcast is just the first video I started, and it's just gonna be like just random talk. I will have some friends over for this podcast series, and my friend he already got an idea of what the series is be called. So for this one, I'm just solo here, and yeah, let's talk about random stuff. So first thing that we're gonna talk about is little story time. So this one, it's a classic. I'm telling you. So it was whenever I was like in, I think kindergarten, you know, little K, and that's where I met one of my best friends, and we were just like, it was like a birthday day where this kid brought cake because it was his birthday, and me and my friend we were like sitting at the same table as the birthday kid, and we were just happily eating cake and all. And just, it's just so weird. Out of nowhere, he throws up. Like, bruh. And then, like, he throws up, and we're like, okay. But I kind of got disgusted because it's throw up. And then, me, myself, threw up. And then, one of my best friends, he saw me. Well, the one who was the best friend I was talking about. So he saw me, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to throw up too. And he threw up, on his brand new John Cena shoes. You know how frustrating it is when you barely get a brand new pair of shoes, especially the ones that you always wanted, especially when you're like a little kid, and then you just mess them up. That's frustrating. And I'm sorry I made you throw up, but I kind of did it because he kind of started the whole chain. I just followed or something. Cause I mean, it was like I couldn't resist. It was disgusting, and he also couldn't resist, so it's kind of no one to blame there. He just throw up. After that, the teacher is like, "Oh my god, three kids just threw up in my room. What am I gonna do?" And then she just says that we have recess, and then everyone was like, "Yes," and we were just there. We were just like playing in the playground. The kid who like started the throw up chain, he did go to the nurse's office, but oh my god. I actually just remembered something. Um, he was also one of my friends. He left on the first grade, like halfway first grade. He left the school, so I've never seen him since. But I remember who he is and all that. And I remember one time my mom literally came up to me and she's like, "Where's your watch?" Because I had a watch, like a little watch, cheap watches that you get at Walmart. And I'm like, "Oh, I gave it to that the guy that I was talking about who threw up." And then she's like, "You gave it to him?" And you're like, "No, I just let him borrow it." And then she's like, "Oh, and when are you gonna get it back?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask him." And I guess he just kept the watch. he, I never got the watch back. Yeah, that's stuff happened. Anyways, whenever he went to the nurse's office, he went home, and thanks to him, we kind of got extra recess. Also, another throw up incident happened in third grade. I was I was we were just in the carpet whenever we were just sitting down in the carpet, and then we were watching like the projector screen, and we were like, I think we were doing math, and the teacher goes steps outside to talk to another teacher, and then me and my friend were just like goofing around. This is another friend though. We were just goofing around, and then we find like a tiny ring, and we're like, oh, it's a tiny ring, and then stupid me decides I'm gonna put it in my tongue, and then I like put in my tongue, like look upwards and stick out my tongue, and I look at the ring, and then the ring just like uh it just fell into my throat, and I was like all coughing and stuff, and then like I tried to take it out with my freaking hand. I like stroked my hand inside, and then I just threw up. Yep, I threw up. I don't know if the ring came out or if it didn't. I don't know. Uh, I threw up, and then the whole class is like just staring at me. They have no reaction. They just stare at me. And then the teacher is like, "Oh my god!" And then recess time, you know, and everybody, they got recess, and then I also go play with the guys, and then the teacher's like, "No, no, no, come back here, sit down right next to me in the bench because you're sick." I'm like, "Boy," but at least I did get a thanks from two of my friends. They're like, thanks for making us go outside." You know, I got two things, so that's good enough. That's too much talking about throw up. I should change the topic. Uh, how about this? One time, I think it was like fourth or fifth grade. I don't know. I'm talking about elementary. It's just I have a lot of stuff that happened there. So either it was fourth or fifth. I'm pretty sure it was fifth, but I don't know. So whenever we got a new counselor, everyone wanted to talk to the counselor, like say their little snitch stuff and stuff. And then like one time, like this kid says a cuss word, and then he accuses me for saying a cuss word, and he goes tell the counselor. And then I get pulled up, and then I'm like, and then me and my whole squad literally show up at the counselor and explained her how it wasn't me. And then the guy who reported me and his whole squad showed up at the counselor explaining how they thought it was me. But at the end, it wasn't me. They were fine with it because they must have misheard it and thought it was me because I was the nearest one. So End of the story. We headed back class. We headed back to the class, and the teacher's like so mad at us. She's like, "Why didn't you tell us you were going to a counselor? You're supposed to like tell us or stuff." Because this happened whenever recess was over, and then he just straight walked to a counselor, and then he told us, and then like the counselor, we were still like in the halls. We were like going to class, and then he like comes and he's like, "Hey yo, come with me. The counselor needs you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then the whole squad comes with me. I don't know why they just came with me, you know. Um, so yeah, and then like later, I think it was like literally a week passed, and then my friend, he's like, "I'm the one that said the cuss word," and I'm like, "Oh," just oh, back then I didn't use bruh, so I just said, "Oh, bro." No, I didn't say that. I said, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks for not blaming it on me." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know it was you." And he's like, "Oh, it's okay," and you know stuff. Yeah, stuff happens. Like I remember it was on fifth grade. Fifth grade, it was like a tough counselor day. Also, another time we went to a counselor, and we kept going to a counselor every single time. And then me and me and my like two buds, we go to a counselor and explain to her how it wasn't us who clogged who clogged the toilet. And then we're like trying to snitch over here. My bud, he's like, "I know who it was," and I'm like, "Yeah," even though I didn't know. We were just like following the flow, cause like my bud, he knew what it was, but me and my other friend, we didn't know what he was talking about. We just went with him, and we were just following the flow. And then like the guy comes to the counselor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it was me and stuff." And then he doesn't get in trouble, he just talks about it. "Don't do that again." But frick, my mom told me when I was like, I don't know what grade, but one time it was so dumb. I brought a hot dog. It went from the cafeteria. I had a hot dog in my pocket. I brought it to the restroom. dumped it in the toilet and flushed the toilet and it got clogged. I never remember that, but my mom said I did it. I was probably like small or something. And then like the counselor at the time, she actually punished me. She's like, "It was him, it was him," and young me was like, "No, it wasn't me," and stuff. Just crazy stuff happened, and yeah, that's when my mom never trusted me or something. Also, for some reason, my freaking laptop just started the fan just turned like really high, but it's really warm. It's probably because I'm recording this while uploading the video, so maybe that's why. Yeah, it's dumb. I got in trouble, but the time he got in trouble, I mean, I kind of did lie, but I was young. That guy was in fifth grade and he clogged the toilet with freaking paper mache. Like, what the heck? Yep, that's elementary. Also, I'll talk about this like more detailed in another video. But um, I've noticed whenever I was in the fifth grade, we barely got these like laptops, like Chromebooks, and then we only use them for school for like group projects or like slides or stuff. We rarely use those Chromebooks. But nowadays, I mean, there's a whole pandemic going around, so. But I remember when I was in the fifth grade, we walked into the computer lab and we saw the kindergarteners playing games. We're talking PBS Kids games, the little shooting star thingy. I don't know the kids programs. I didn't use them. The only program I used was PBS Kids when I was like really small, and the OG Cool Math. Hey, if you play Cool Math, you're an OG. School OG. Also the DS. That was a mega hit. But yeah, I guess that kind of wraps up this video. I just wanted to like talk about like little story time podcast thingy. But if you do enjoy these series, um, comment down below like a topic you want me to talk about, or comment down below if you want me to talk about topic with another friend. Maybe next video I'll include a friend. But that was it. As always, have a nice day. See y'all next time.